Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I feel like this like what I'm looking at is like way cooler and all you can see is all my like clothes, but
No, I love it.
I
It's so
this
fun.
is just I feel like it's fine.
Yeah, no, of course, of course.
You've got a
We're vibing.
grand piano, that's a bit fancy.
Yes, we love the piano. Oh, it's good. Do you play? Well, I'm guessing you play, but yeah, you like the piano?
I yeah, I do. It was my first instrument like when I was a kid. But then yeah, I didn't discover guitar until like after high school and it just went way smoother. Like I think that was what I was meant to play, but it set me up for it. But
Yeah, no,
yes,
that's
I
good.
dabble.
Nah, that's good. That's good. Awesome. Well, I'm Zach. So
You
lovely to meet you. Um,
Isaac. You
Now, how do we
too.
pronounce the name? I don't want to get it wrong. It's my Cherie, my cher.
Yes.
I know what it means, French, my darling,
Yeah.
but my dear. How do we pronounce it? Oh, I love that. That's so fun.
Well, it's it's a bit weird because I feel like I grew up in South Africa, and so the
Yeah,
way that my parents and people there would say it is
yeah.
like Chérie, but
Chérie.
it's
Okay,
but then like growing up or like yeah, being more in Australia, it's just my Cherie. Yeah,
my Chérie. I love
that's
it.
how
I love it. No, it's so
I
sick.
hate as long as no one says my cherry, I'm like, cool,
It's a
we're
win.
good.
It's a win. No, it's beautiful. I love it. It's a fantastic name and it's a fantastic track.
Thank you.
Darkness and Gold. I got to listen to it. It's fantastic. And it's been out for 4 days now. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, 4 days. Wow. Well, it's just it's crazy like how sometimes music it takes so long to release it and get it out. So I feel like I've been vibing to the song for like a couple of years
Oh
and
wow.
it's just like suddenly I was just like, what the heck? Time has really flown by. Get this out right now. And it's cool that everyone else can listen to it now, finally.
Yeah. No, I love it. Tell us a little bit about the story behind the song. Because you take us on such a beautiful journey. And it's super introspective and it's kind of, well, for me, it's kind of discovering what we want in life. Hey. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's you put it really beautifully in the song, but maybe what's the story behind it?
Thank you. Well, I feel like kind of a couple of different concepts, but I think it kind of started with the idea of um excuse me, sir. Of like how we have as artists, we've got our kind of you've got your artist side and I think I read something once about how like what was it? It was like Lady Gaga doesn't walk around in her meat suit every day.
Yeah.
And I kind of like I really like that concept of how we have to like we aren't just the artist side. Like when the part of you that's an artist is like this dramatic and like well for me it's this other persona and it's this really beautiful confident person and then there's also just me who's like in my PJs on the couch that the other people when you're on stage don't get to see and I guess that kind of concept of how there's so many different sides to us and like you know we've all got our like our issues and kind of it's just about like owning every part of who we are. And I think, like, in the verses and stuff, it's kind of just like acknowledging that, yeah, like, you know, I know that I've got my things, but it's about kind of like a confident booster and about the journey of like accepting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
that
No,
made
I love
sense.
it. And the line I am what I've always known. Oh, it's fantastic.
Mm,
Really,
thank
really
you.
beautiful. Yeah, so with that, I guess your journey, you mentioned before that you grew up in South Africa. And I'm guessing like when did we start getting into music? Was it in South Africa? Was it when you were younger? Maybe when you finished high school? Like tell us that journey. Like,
Hmm. Well, I think I was one of those kids that like my dad wrote some songs like we'd always kind of make fun of him because it would just be on the same four chords like he just knew four chords but he'd
yeah,
managed to just write these songs and then my mom played piano and I think when she grew up her parents couldn't really like afford for her to have lessons and so I think
yeah,
for them they just saw like my musical like gift, and they wanted to like they were really good with getting me to have lessons and stuff from pretty early on. And they were pastors, so I feel like I kind of, yeah, I was like a kid that grew up in church. So I like
Yeah.
was kind of on stage playing like tambourine or whatever like from pretty early on. And I think I wrote my first song at like 5 years old, like little jingles
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Christmas. And like, yeah, so
No,
it's
that's
kind of like
sick.
definitely, and I like did music in high school and then studied it for a bit. Well, I studied and did a degree in music. um,
Yeah. No,
and
that's
yeah,
awesome.
just I've just always loved it, followed it, and yeah.
Yeah, sick. So you mentioned you grew up in like a church scenario. With that, like, how does I don't know if you're still going to church about it, but does your faith have any impact on what you write? And I guess that journey, and you're very introspective and you really delve into like character of how we're built ourselves, and I think that's fantastic. Does that kind of influence it in anything? Like,
Yeah, thank you.
dive into that.
It definitely does. I think yeah, I'm still like, I guess, on that journey of almost like trying to be more open about that yeah, that journey by like growing up in South Africa and in church, and kind of how
Yeah,
like just culturally I think faith and stuff is quite different here. Like I just feel like it's in normal conversation, it's almost like 3 out of 4 people talk about God as if that's like the normal thing to believe. And
yeah,
then
okay,
moving here, it was so different. So I feel like it has been quite, yeah, like interesting to be a part of like another culture, have such a specific upbringing, and then to have kind of had my own journey of trying to just own what I believe, and the fact that that looks a bit different to what I grew up with. So,
yeah. No,
yeah, I,
that's
I don't
awesome.
really have a title for exactly like what I believe. I guess it's just not about being put in a box as much
Yeah.
as
It's
some,
okay. We
yeah.
don't need to put any titles on anything. That's awesome. No, I love that. Yeah, no, it's really
Yeah.
beautiful. And that comes through in the music. And yeah, I think also just in the
Yeah.
sounds that you've made, you really mix well, firstly use a lot of different instruments. And run us through that process of where do you start with a track? And like do you start with the idea? Do you start with the music? And then run us through how you create that beautiful soundscape. Well, with this
Thank
track.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, yeah, in past music and like in future releases as well, the processes have been different each time. So
Yeah.
like the things I'm working on at the moment are songs that have kind of been written on an instrument, then like finished and then taken to the studio, recorded,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
kind of the production and stuff coming into it.
Yeah.
Where with this one, it was written with Mario Spate, who's a producer in Adelaide, and Benny
Yeah.
Tamblyn, who's
Yeah.
like a friend of mine who we've written another song together, and he's in my band. And we, like the three of us, we sat down, and Mario kind of started dabbling with an idea, and then Benny and I just started talking about like what to write, and then the lyrics and the ideas would kind of come, and then I'd quickly record it. And it was as if like Mario, like we were almost not talking, like everyone was just in the flow state, like in such a high degree that the
Yeah.
song was recorded, all the lyrics, all the melodies recorded in like less than 4 hours.
No
And
way.
the song was kind of like finished, and then it's just about artists that then like once you're out of the flow state, you like kind of end up editing it for like way too long and like changing
Yeah.
things. And but the actual like foundation of it was pretty much finished on like less than 4 hours, and we went and got a beer at the pub together. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
I
really
love
good.
that. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. No, that's so sick. 4 hours is very
Mm,
quick. Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like it's all come together. Like the music matches the words beautifully, and it's very creative. You've kind of developed your own sound, and you can see inspiration from different artists that I'm sure you love. But yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
it's fantastic on how you've delved into your own sound, um, which is really awesome.
Cool.
And I guess you mentioned a band and performing. Where was like where's been your favorite place to perform so far? Like favorite venue, favorite show?
Um, I would say kind of two very different ones.
Yeah,
Usually, like I've been playing with a band recently, and I've done kind of like f for a long time. My show was kind of like live looping with kind of the backing tracks coming in and
yeah,
synths.
yeah,
And at the moment, it's kind of gone a bit more like indie pop guitar-y with the band backing.
yeah,
And so I'd say there's this one that we got filmed and recorded, and that was like 2 years ago. And
yeah,
I released like it on Bandcamp to listen to some of the songs as well because it was just like, yeah, really beautiful. I had like some violins and cello, synth, bass, guitar, like this whole big
yeah.
shebang. And that was in Adelaide at Jive. I'll be launching this one as well there again soon.
Oh,
And
sick.
then, yeah, and then another show was like when I was doing a trip in Europe and I played this house show and it was like completely unplugged, just guitar and just a room full of people from everywhere in this world.
Yeah,
And it was like 100 people in a living room and I just
yeah.
sang and it was really cool. Yeah, so
That's
very
so
different.
sick. Yeah, very different. No, that's so fun. Well, I think your music's so welcoming.
Yeah.
So to be able to perform in a space, where I guess you just showed you're so welcoming is awesome. Where would be like the dream spot?
Cool.
Like every artist kind of dreams, like,
Ooh.
this is like where would be your dream kind of venue, place, national park, um, to play to the
Ooh.
peoples?
Well, I really like when was it? Maybe a year ago. The I saw Adrian Lenker in I've forgotten what the theater is called, but in Melbourne, um the like it's just such a beautiful theater with these like angel statues,
Or
and I can't
Liberty
remember the
Hall?
name of it.
Is it Liberty Hall maybe? I don't know.
It
No,
must
that
be. It's like
no, that's it.
the main kind of, and I know in like Adelaide we've got the like West Theberton. Like I think
Yeah, okay.
these like big theater places. I really imagine that. I feel like there's still like an intimacy that you could get with it, but then a bit more of like a stage and a production and like bigger show. So
Yeah,
I like that, and then maybe more like entertainment centers would be good.
yeah. That'd be fun.
Let's
That'd
go
be super
big.
fun.
Why not?
Yeah, go big, hey. Nah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. And then with that, are you currently, do you have a plan of like, do we have an album in the works or where are we with that? And dreaming of putting all the music together because you've dropped a heck of a lot of awesome singles.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, thank you. Um, yes, I'm kind of
yes.
um I don't want to say almost finished, but kind
Okay.
of yeah, been working hard on an album and it'll be my debut album. So it'll be really cool, I think, to release something. It's more of a big body of work and
Yeah.
collection. And I think the sound, yeah, it's kind of, it can be quite different in an album than a single. Like a single, you're kind of like, let's go, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Where with an album, you can kind of like, yeah, you want to sit in it a bit more, and the way it flows is quite different. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to releasing that
Yeah.
in the
No, that's
future.
it. I'm looking forward to listening to it. I think we're all looking forward to listening to it.
Much.
Um, that is awesome.
Cool.
You are awesome. And thank you so
Thank you.
much for taking the time.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, no, that's sick. And I'm keen for when you come to Sydney and you've got your show, whether it's in a big theater or a little place, I'm keen. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for taking the
Thank
time
you.
and so lovely to meet you.
Oh,
And
yeah,
um,
you too. You're
this
lovely.
is